Peace fam, what's poppin'? It's Manny X. It's another video. Tonight, I'm just taking my time and I'm talking about my path, you know what I'm saying? What I've been going on and going through in my path, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it can inspire you a little bit. I just wanted to bring this to y'all because I know that a lot of us, we all are constantly experiencing some type of adversity. Is adversity through the feelings that we experience in it, regardless of the physical circumstance and details of it. We all can connect through these emotions and through these different symptoms of human nature that we all keep experiencing on a daily basis. So yeah, if y'all resonate with this type of content, let me know. I'm just trying to spread the love, relate to everybody. I love y'all. Stay tuned to the video. We finna get into it. I want to talk about guidance for a little bit because that's what I was mainly learning in my life. When I really start to reflect on it, I've been learning a lot of guidance, and mainly what I've been learning about guidance is the subtleness and really the omnipotence of guidance. Really, guidance is in all things. It's kind of like there's this quote that I like: your whole entire circumstance is your greatest preacher, or is your greatest teacher. You know what I'm saying? Your circumstance and everything that you experience and everything that you're perceiving, everything that you're intaking into your spirit, your soul, whatever you want to call it, your intellect. All of these things are feeding you, you know what I'm saying? And you can literally clairvoyantly look on these things when you are no longer subjected to trauma like thinking or anything that's keeping you in a low vibration. You can be able to see more clairvoyantly, more objectively. You have a more simplistic perception upon the actual behavior and movement and nature of things, you know what I'm saying? And through that, you realize that your circumstance is literally the divine plan. And I really want to, and that's when we even go into talking about the illusion of free will, you know what I'm saying? I think that free will really is an illusion, but y'all gotta hear me out on this one, you know what I'm saying? I think that free will is an illusion because I think that we are given free will, the illusion of free will, first off, because we have the illusion of free will in the third dimension, I believe. And I think, which is that separatism, you know what I'm saying? Having your own individual choice to go and make an individual decision that solely really affects you in the surface level that you can perceive it as on that way. A lot of the time in my own personal circumstances, it was really the personal circumstances and the adversity that I faced and the reaction of emotion that it brought out of me that then brought my attention to a certain emotion and then eventually concocted with other experiences and with a more of a philosophical experience and allow me to question it, you know what I'm saying, and dive deeper into it, you know what I'm saying, discerning more. I think that everything is a part of a divine plan, you know what I'm saying? Although we think we are down here making a free choice, I feel like everything is kind of divinely made when we talk about sacred contracts and things like that, really having a contract of doing certain things and evolving certain and fluctuating and experiencing certain energies, you know what I'm saying? Doing things like that, when you have certain sacred contracts like that, when you resonate with this energy, there's some type of divine path that is being summoned, you know what I'm saying? And I think we can all agree with that to some extent. So it would only make sense to say that I feel like we all are on our divine path, you know what I mean? And I feel like that although it may not seem like it, polarity does exist, and polarity is expressed through all types of ways, through you having to perceive both sides of the coin of things that you respect and don't respect, you know what I'm saying? Things that you fear and don't fear, things that you support and oppose. These type of polarities are the things that we need to experience on this plane. So we experience that through the reflection of thyself, which is our reflections, you know what I'm saying? Which is us, each other, you know what I mean? And that's why I say the most potent way for you to grow is through the relationships and perceiving everything through your relationships, perceiving yourself and perceiving what you perceive from that person, you know what I mean? And that's another thing that I've been learning in my path, when you are, I've never really been a super critical person, you know what I'm saying? But I always feel, but I've learned more now, that the more critical you are, the more that it really allows you to let the universe comes back and it reminds you how vulnerable you are to the same circumstance or state of mind as somebody else. Remember that when it comes to things as divine as sacred contracts, they are all harmonious and they are divine. They don't work on the human intellectual logical system. It's something that is far more complex and intelligent than we can comprehend as like only a small expression of it, you know what I'm saying? Like elusive expression of it at that. But you know what I'm saying? Like a projection of it. I feel like really the more critical you be into people and stuff like that, the more that these things come back to allow you to experience it and have those same shoes and realize what is really going on. You know what I'm saying? You get to see both sides of the coin and things like that, whether you realize it or not. I mean, if you reflect, I think you'll usually find that you are going through these cycles with these type of things that happen. A lot of the time, it's just like, and also it's like getting to the core of what that also means. You know what I'm saying? What does it mean when you are actually like being critical of people like that? You know what I mean? You looking at the world as if you know what's right. You know what I'm saying? As if your perspective is up here to everybody's perspective that's right around here. You know what I mean? Or wherever it is. This is like an arrogant way of thought, you know what I'm saying? And it really can block you off from ever expanding or just finding new things that work for you, because you just never know. And I think that's really like an ego thing. I think it's built off to me, and I'm like our primitive nature to want to be the best of the all, you know what I'm saying? And I think that we should use our primitive natures, but for me personally, that's not a way that I prefer to use it, you know what I mean? But yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, things like this. These are things that are unfolding in our path. And then when we express these things, it is so important for us to be expressing these type of things to ourselves, because we are then impressing our subconscious mind is hearing it, our other self that we not always consciously in tune with is downloading the information, and we are processing it, and it is developing, it is catering to some type of vibration, some type of future relationship, you know what I'm saying, or future present relationship, you know what I'm saying, with your other self. Another thing that I want to talk about, y'all, is confessions. You know what I'm saying? Confessions, not really just talking to somebody and like having somebody come up and be like, I did this, I beat it 3 times, and all this. Like, I don't need to know all that. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is like confessions to thyself. You know what I mean? Really getting it in with yourself. Have a time where you in the dark or you by yourself and you don't have any distractions, nothing, no phone, no sound, no light, just all darkness and quietness, and talk to yourself, you know what I'm saying? And really confess anything that you feel that's apparent to you about the day. Express exactly how you feel the best way that you know how to explain it. Get it off your chest, you know what I'm saying? And if it's somebody that you feel that way towards, you can image them being there and express that, you know what I'm saying? Because you really should release every time. I think it should be a daily release. You don't want to really be building up emotions that you are bottling within yourself, because then that comes to more shadows, because you become oblivious to more stuff that's just hidden within you. You know what I'm saying? You create more shadows while doing shadow work. It's just like completely contradictory. So yeah, I would like confessions. I think is so important because you really start listening to yourself as you say the things that you constantly thinking about consistently every day. You hear it through your own ears. You know what I'm saying? So you actively discerning it through your own conscious mind and your subconscious mind at the same time. Thus, you being able to process it and actually assess it with more discernment than you usually would be able to. You can even record yourself when you feel impulsive saying some stuff. I just seen 11:11 on the recording, but you can record yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you posting some stuff, I mean, you can record yourself when you feeling some stuff spontaneously, and then just come back later when you feel more clairvoyant and listen to it whenever. You know what I mean? I feel like confessions is so important, and I really didn't get into this until recently, but my life has really taught me that a lot. Is like confessions is so much, and Another lesson that I had learned recently is really to stop associating, like to associate my worth with what I provide, like financially or anything like that, as a human being, like, or as a spirit, as my awareness, as this being that I perceive myself as. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I shouldn't put a rating on that or a judgment on that based on some type of fictional or play currency or monetary gain type stuff. I feel like these are things that they don't really determine what's going on within the heart. You know what I'm saying? It's way harder to be able to get your emotions intact a lot of the time. You know what I mean? And really having control over a lot of your, not really even control, but you know what I mean? Just being able to be okay through the chaos in your life. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing I wanted to talk to you. I don't know if I ever talk about this. I'm kind of flowing through this, and I apologize if I'm like just skipping through stuff. But I feel like chaos is something that will always happen. It's always going to be something that can make you feel like you don't have the perfect footing or correct footing or stable footing. You know what I'm saying? You can always feel unbalanced in a way to where it's always this other thing. I think that we really misperceive that in the way that we perceive it as a burden a lot of the time. And we don't really realize the importance of this aspect of our lives. This is the aspect that allows us to keep striving and keep continuing forward, keep creating, and keep striving for the recipe of euphoria and peace and contentment. You know what I'm saying? For satisfaction and things like that. These are recipes, and they must be concocted through various other emotions like discipline and even trauma and certain things that we can get into in another video where I break that down more. But these things are concocted through these to create the recipe of joy and success, of peace and things like that. This is not something that we just, this is not a destination. You know what I'm saying? We don't just get there. We experience happy moments in our life, but none of this stuff is ever cemented. None of this stuff is ever just completely still. You know what I mean? It's always going to keep fluctuating. You may have a moment where you're feeling extremely euphoric and happy and excited. You know what I'm saying? And the next moment you could be feeling alone and really just like confused and lost. You know what I'm saying? It's That's how the universe works. You know what I'm saying? And you are here to experience the extremities of both polarities. And I think that that is the balance of all things. That's what keeps us in the tide to be able to keep striving and keep evolving and keep flowing, because that is the thing that helps us to thrive as a physical living and experiencing life as a physical being. You know what I'm saying? Being productive and creating and using our assets that we have here, really having purpose and intention and consistent intention. Confessions also help with like expressing and stuff like that. I know I'm going back to confessions, but confessions help with like confessions is a part of expression. You know what I'm saying? And it's this guy named Hindsight on YouTube. If you can look him up, he has a beautiful channel. But he talks about expression. He says expression is the most important form or the highest form of nutrition, and I think that's one of the best quotes I had heard recently, because it's a beautiful quote, and it really is. You should be expressing yourself. You should never be holding things in to where it's like a bomb, or it's like a pot of hot water and it's like a big pile of steam got to come out and it's overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? When it finally gets open, you know what I mean? Those are like some of the things that I've been learning, y'all. I mean, like, yeah, this is like a little short video on that. But yeah, life really just comes through and it puts you in the circumstances. And when I say I've been learning all these things, I know I didn't speak too much on the circumstances really of what was going on, but like through like through a lot of things, it's mainly just letting y'all know that like life, for me, I resonate with y'all. If y'all resonate with this, that life is putting us through um our lessons. Our circumstances are our lessons. Our circumstances are our teachers. You know what I'm saying? Our circumstances is our guidance. All the guidance that you need is right here, and all the ways that you feel is literally a direct path to what you should do. You know what I mean? You can literally, like, it's a knowing, and it's this knowing. We have this in our spirit, And I think that we need to get ourselves out of the vibration of confusion a lot of the time, because there's a lot of things that we know we just don't allow ourselves to, because we embrace the contemplation of the mind too much. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to frame it as we contemplate anymore, because really us separating ourselves from the mind and the body is realizing that we are just embracing the fluctuation of the thoughts within the mind. We are not thinking too much or overthinking. The mind is naturally going to think a million thoughts a day. It is a running machine. We must continue to be able to keep our focus where we will it to be, and have that be through the divine will of our spirit, of our truth that we feel within, which is unique to everybody. But with all of that being said, I love y'all, and I want y'all to take care of yourselves. Beyond that, whatever the fuck, do what you want to do in this lifetime. I'm in this zone, and I'm doing what I want to do. I'm going to continue doing what I want to do in this lifetime, and I hope that y'all keep doing the same for yourselves. But yeah, I love y'all. Keep taking care of yourselves. Remember, whatever you're projecting is what you ultimately going to be experiencing for yourself. So just keep that in mind while you vibing in the universe. Remember, we in the third dimension on this earth, planet Kai, in this zone, and we are experiencing the middle of the transition to 5D. So we in this zone. Love y'all. Shamil HOTEP.